5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm John Miglash for the Wisconsin DMA and the International Society for Strategic Marketing.
Visionaries are creating the future. So every day, we put our latest technology and vast expertise to work. The United States Postal Service makes more e-commerce deliveries to homes than anyone else in the country, affordably and on time. The future only happens with people who really know how to deliver it.
I gotta say, those old vans, I think, are funny in the high-tech commercial. But anyway, the post office does deliver a lot of stuff, and somebody pointed out to me that Informed Delivery lets them click on the notification and get the delivery and information. Although if you order from Amazon and eBay, most of the shippers track it for you, and so you get a notification in email that it's coming, and that's a little more special. You don't have to sort through things. I told my daughter about Informed Delivery yesterday, and because she didn't know anything about it. Not everybody does. And she said, "Oh." I said, "Yeah, it lets you scan your mail. You don't have to look at it. When it comes, you can find the piece you want and then just throw the rest in the trash." And she said, "Oh, you mean it makes mail like email?" Yes. So one of these days I'm going to do a full session on Informed Delivery and argue that it may be actually undermining the one real huge distinction of mail, which is the engagement. Think about that. Does it really undermine engagement? I'd love to hear your thoughts. I got a note from somebody saying that they really love Informed Delivery, and I'd like to know what you love about it. That was from Marie. Maria. Somebody said it's not working on LinkedIn, but it looks like it is. Hit refresh. That seemed to work for me. Okay, so let's get over to the real news of the day, and let's see what I got queued up over here. Okay. The U.S. elections provide an interesting test case for hashed email identifiers. Anybody know what that is? Raise your hand, hit like and share. Hashed email identifiers are taking your email as the core identifier. Now that cookies, especially third-party cookies, are getting blocked, that doesn't mean all cookies are blocked. Okay, so if you have a login, let's say for YouTube or something, I think YouTube sends, a lot of websites, I don't know about YouTube, but a lot of websites you notice you just get on. You go to it and it logs you in. How? Well, some of it is they have a first-party cookie that's on your machine that remembers you, essentially. You remember it. It remembers you. It's on your computer. You don't have to touch anything. It makes it all very interesting, all very seamless and easy. Okay, hashtagged emails. So what they're saying is that 90% of Obama's fundraising was email. Okay, 90%, which was a number I didn't know. But 50% of the $15 billion that they expect to be spent on the campaigns across the country this fall will be on local TV. Half of the $15 billion. I don't know where the other part goes. Hopefully direct mail. But what they're saying is that hashed anything is like an encrypted version of it. So you won't necessarily see it, but they might hash your email into a QR code or something else so that you can hit a landing page for fundraising. They'll know it's like a tracking code. It's like a cookie, and it's an alternative because you probably use your real email for your cable TV subscription, or maybe your electricity. Maybe you pay online, so you use your real email. Maybe your bank account, maybe darn near everything is tied to that, and those things may also be tied to a physical address. That may be trackable to your email. Although I have tried getting physical addresses when I had, like on LinkedIn, we have, everybody gives an email, whether it's a good one or a bad one. I've taken those and sent them out to try to match them, and I only got not even 10%. So it's not a very productive, it hasn't been a very productive methodology for me. I keep getting red squares on the on my sending. So I think LinkedIn isn't so happy with that. It looks like it's paused again for me. I'll hit refresh. Anyway, we'll just keep going. But as I'm getting 15, 20, 30 emails a day on political fundraising efforts. I don't know that I open any of them except by accident. I don't read any of them. They're saying as those tail off, you can use hashed email to use CTV instead and to move that in. Hey, Ruth, I'd like to hear what your thoughts are on informed delivery and what your clients think of it. I actually went back to my dashboard and looked, and yes, American Family had a color link to my account, which I've never done online maintenance of, so it didn't do me any good. I just ended there. But it was interesting, and that's the first time I think I've seen a live link in an informed delivery, even though it didn't do me any good. The point of this article is email is essentially your digital passport. It's a way of accessing so many digital platforms and services, so therefore it's becoming a de facto identity address. Now, I argue that the physical address is much more permanent, much more real, and with physical mail, you get to a decision maker, you get a tactile engagement, you get a decision. And although I'm contending also that informed delivery is actually undermining that. This is kind of like a gold mine I ran across yesterday. CX Knowledge Series, 6 building blocks from subject matter experts. This link, this link is a PDF. I'll send you this PDF if you go to wdma.org. WDMA.org. You can subscribe to WDMA.org. Just go in, just hit subscribe or join, and it's free. And you just put in your email, and I'll send it back to you. And I don't think there's a comment section, but if you do it in the next day or two, I will send this off to you. I think that's going to be kind of our new de facto way of keeping in touch on the show. So anyway, this article has links to a customer experience curriculum. Now, I've been invited by the University of Wisconsin Platteville to participate in their customer experience curriculum, and I'm guessing it's about the measurement side. But while I have a lot of experience in that area, I'm going to go down here and read this part and download this from the PDF. You see how my cursor, I don't know if you see that, but my cursor changes to a finger. If you click on it with the finger lit without the if you click on this one, it asks you if you want to open that. Okay? And so if you say yes, then you go to you get that other PDF. So that this gives you a roadmap to all of the different links, and I'm going to delete that highlight so it works. Now it'll work. But I'm going to definitely go through this course. There are videos. There's a course outline. There's even example questions on the exam if you were taking the course. I'm not, but I'm auditing it, let's say. And so there's just a huge wealth of experience. So I encourage you to subscribe to the WDMA. If you're already subscribed, just send me an email, john@wdma.org, and we'll make sure you get that link. It's really, really well done. In fact, I can actually show you. I did queue up a little bit of it. Here's the exam study group series, and it talks about the professor, and it has cool diagrams. Look at that. Cool outline, more cool diagrams. Really, really tight and solid. It's like the PowerPoint slides, but then there's also videos and things that accompany that with the links involved. And so, like I said, I'll send you the roadmap to that if you go over to WDMA. Okay, this was an interesting one in the hustle. Companies are talking about total addressable markets. And like when Uber started, they claimed that the ride-sharing industry is a 5.7 trillion opportunity, and that Virgin Atlantic Space, or Virgin space exploration thing is supposed to be a 1.5 trillion. It's always great to lay that out and to see what the total upside potential is. I was in the cement industry, and we told investors or prospective investors that the cement industry was, I don't remember what it was. It's the number one man-made material in the world, and that we had a new way to make recycled cement. It did actually work, but the founder, the owner of everything, didn't want to sell any stock really. So this idea is solid. Now, what I wanted to show you was this is one of the DMDP's direct mail developmental profile that we did with the USPS, and I think it was Elena. Yeah, Elena Neely. I told Elena yesterday. I mentioned her on the show. Elena's still around. You can still talk to her at the USPS. And this, anyway, the back half of it was all mailing lists suggestions for targeting tourist attraction prospects. And what we did was we built a potential universe. Now, the advantage of this, I don't know if you can see any of it. There you go. I get it out of the lights. The advantage of this was it gave clear circulation. It gave the list names. It gave divided it into target markets. And we used to do that for every potential prospective mailer. Show them what kind of lists were available, and oftentimes it was tens of millions of names were available. You know, where they were picking up the scraps on SEO. This was something that could really drive millions of views, engagements, low bounce rate, and real sales. And now, not everybody did that. And you know, it's a concept that I was going to write in all the clients that I'd done it with. But when I first started in the list industry, they just said, well, try these 6 lists and let me know how they do, which is a very, very unproductive way to do that. But, you know, gradually, that was from Jerry Kraft, who's retired now. But I taught Jerry to just go get me everything you can think of, and we'll organize it, and we'll test within each market, which gives us a better fundamental way of exploring this. And so what I think about when I think about total addressable markets is literally how could I get in touch individually with offers that were tailored to particular markets? And what I define a market as, very simply, it's a group of people you can tell the same story to. You know, I've never believed in one-to-one marketing exactly because nobody's ever been able to do it to me. You know, I mean, other than your library book is past due kind of stuff. You know, stuff that's actually about me. But besides that, you know, the idea of making an offer that somehow you know enough about me to make it personalized to just me. And even if you could, what are you going to say with a second offer? You know, birds of a feather flock together. So what we would do is define the markets, define the potential, and it gives us a feel for the upside potential. I can say, as I think the hustle agrees, the idea that you say, well, if it's $1 trillion market and we just get 1% of it, you know, that's 10 million in sales instantly or something. I think that's right. If it's $1 trillion market, it might be 10 billion in sales, yeah, or something. I mean, the numbers are hilarious. We can be $1 billion company if we get 1% of $1 trillion market. Yeah, okay, that's great. But it doesn't work. No, $1 trillion is 1,000 billion. So 1% of $1 trillion is 10 billion. So that's a big number. But it doesn't work that way. You know, the biggest guy gets half of it. The second biggest guy gets half of that. The third biggest guy gets half of that. And if you're not in the top 5, you're not going to get. You may not get anything. That's the way it works. That's the way the real world works. The Pareto principle. It works across the universe with the size of stars, the size of galaxies, the size of people, almost everything. It's never been false in my experience, ever, anywhere. So don't focus on equity of outcome. Focus on equity of opportunity. And the first thing you want to do when you start thinking about getting into a market or changing market channels exploring new market channels, is think about how can we use this channel to reach people we aren't able to reach in another way. That's what the hashtag email was saying. As email tapers out as we get closer to the election, maybe you want to switch. Maybe you want to switch to TV. But I think we also need to be cognizant of the fact that political advertising gets annoying. And I think sometimes the company that has the most spending potential also annoys people into not voting. That's what I think happened in 2016. We'll see what happens this year. Have a great day. Like and share. Subscribe to the WDMA. Your friends will know you're smart. Bye-bye. Thanks for the heart.